Hello, Kathy Vic, deeply awake. Okay, we want to tell you of a few things. It's important. We are in the middle of study session, but we come to you because we are insistent and we will not be stopped. We said we want to do right. Well, that didn't go over very good. Here we are. We tell you video what this does neurologically is it is more ongoing, more fresh, and in real time. And of course, the one in the driver's seat gets to choose based on what feels good. So here we are, and all is well. We said this energy that is upon you is a humbling one. It's true. A humbling one. That means bigger self and little self becomes more evident as time passes. How is this done? Well, it's amazing. It's amazing. Innately. You may see it come to pass. We talked about the magnetic keys, long ago. We talked about how, using this body, we change the magnetics, in humans. Well, at least in this human. And then communicated this to the crystal kingdom. It was a gradual amping up, which completed quite beautifully. It's an interesting process, one that not many people have to check up on and read about or watch, but fascinating. We bring it up because there were keys, magnetically keys, which decreased the receptivity of certain portions of the psyche and consciousness of human beings. And this was released. There have been different keys in different times. These keys, well, therefore for this last little bit, we won't tell you how long, but we can assure you, on Earth, there have been entire civilizations that have come before you, and precious little evidence of any of it, purposefully, quite purposefully. During these times, the human being was keyed to different titrations. There are no restrictions, that's what I say. No more restrictions. If you want access, you may have access. And there are no more impediments to this access, except your own consciousness. And we will tell you, the energy is working in your favor if becoming aware of more is your intention. So, protection in this new energy. What an interesting concept. What does protection protection imply? Does it not imply threat? Does it not imply danger? Does it not imply that your survival is at stake? Think on this. Does it not imply weakness? Now, we would tell you we spent a fair amount of time with our students before the shift, explaining many things, including how to manage oneself when you find yourself amongst very dark people in a dark place. All of you. It's your job to hold light in dark places. That is your job. So, there was a time we used netting, we used entrances and placed nets energetically. We explained how to manage consciousness when dealing with great conflict, to preserve peace within. Many of these things were quite mechanistic. They can be seen as quite simplistic now, because what we have been explaining for our last little bit is this: finding oneself in a dark place, yet again, and yet curious. None of it's sticking. So, what we explained was this: why is it that you would think exposing yourself to other people's difficult natures can harm you? Where did you get that idea? And we hear, oh, well, my body hurts and my heart hurts and I feel like shit. I'm tired. I ache all the time. So we've been explaining, you know, dear one, this Merkaba you walk around in, don't you understand? It generates its own light. It is self-sustaining, self-sufficient, and it is overflowing with energy. How can it be that another person's problems can harm you in this state? Are you certain? The visuals, you know, are stunning. What we have explained and what we had a hand in having demonstrated today. There is no harm. There's no harm. Nothing hurts. Yes, yes. I see. I hear how in this very public place you are accusing me of doing something very harmful. It is acknowledged. It is refuted with a smile. It is moved on from. On and on and on and on. Do you understand what it is we are saying to you? Do you yourself find yourself in a dark place? Perhaps you lay your head down on a pillow, which is dark, and around you, perhaps even beside you, are those you know to be harmful, intentionally so, intentionally harmful toward you daily, with every opportunity. Well, A, we would say, there is such a thing as yes and no, and choice. And B, we would say, your job, well, there you go. Is it dark? Well, here is the question. Are you dark? If you are laying your head down on a pillow, understanding that the people around you behave wantonly and harmfully, and they do so because they are in pain, and they do not understand how powerful they are, how safe they are, and how loved they are. So perhaps the reaction to behavior is one of love instead of defense tomorrow. We wanted to talk about this love thing. It does boil down to this. Self-love is primary. Love of others is an art and a science and a pleasure and an imperative. Those who are intentionally harmful oftentimes have no idea. It is second nature. It is reflexive. Have we not talked about that low consciousness that is imprisoning, self-perpetuating, and dark? What this means is it's hard to get out of. Do you know why? Magnetics. There are such things as fields which influence behavior. And these fields, they also influence thought and belief. It starts with belief. And we tell you, this dark, defensive, often attacking nature. It is from trauma. So, the question is, do you allow the person with the difficulty to take care of the difficulty and improve? Or do you let them remain as they are? We say you can have them remain as they are by playing along. Meet every attack with a defense. There are many ways to stay within that field. It is a field that encourages you to believe that you are not powerful, you are not safe, you are not competent, and you are to blame. Ban. So, the greatest protection, it goes beyond seeing yourself in other. It does. Protection itself now it requires detachment and love. Love does not mean pass. Do you not understand? It is this warring, quarrelsome, difficult behavior that is quite rampant. It is an infection. It is nearly over. You cannot be harmed. Not by this meddlesome, tight, constricted, fearful, often unintentionally hateful mindset. But it goes deeper than that. How? How can you see yourself as a geyser of light, unaffected by anything that is around you? How is that possible? What kind of life is that? Well, I will tell you, it's quite beautiful. And it changes everything around that person. It comes from consciousness, this protection. Being in a dark place, it is hard. It's a slog. It's painful. But it doesn't have to be. Can you not see that such a consciousness is unsustainable long term? Well, you know, we see some people and know that they have been at it for quite some time and they're not going to change. It's just how they are. What do you think of that? Isn't that the point? How about this? How about if you understand that the person you're quarreling with, whether it's a boss or a friend or whatever, it doesn't matter. there's a part of them that is embarrassed. Truly, there is. Some are embarrassed by many things, but all are embarrassed when they behave unlovingly. There's a part of the human being that reacts physically. Believe it or not, it's neurochemical. So, what do? It's perpetual, ongoing, guaranteed to be the same in 20 years. Well, this is what we have to tell you. Look well at your dearest comrades, at the people you share space with, the people you profess love for. These people are representations of you. Do you not know this? If a friend were to get to know you and want to meet your other friends, what would they learn about you? They would learn volumes from this one's friends. They are you. They are your choices. They are your interpersonal preferences. They are you. And we would ask you, if the people who are closest to you, who are there voluntarily in your life, or involuntarily, but by choice and not for work, let's say, what do they represent? And how loving are they toward you? How loving are you toward them? How loved do each of you feel? How honored, respected, appreciated, heard? So, look around and understand this. Everything changes. You were once too, you know. And the things that were immediate in your life and threatened your survival if you didn't have, are they still threatening your survival? No. You will have learned much. And your toys are different. Your activities are different. Your understanding of self and other is different. If things are good in your life, cherish them, celebrate them, dance under the moonlight, naked if you want, in celebration. Do it. If things are good, do it. Enjoy it. Revel in it. Celebrate. If things are hard, guess what? They're going to change. Yeah. So, there are some who are in perpetually difficult situations which seem to be going on into perpetuity. Well, in that case, you got a question to ask yourself. If you are in a drama that looks like it's going to go on forever and you don't like it, well, who's living your life? Good question. Good question. And there are some situations that cannot be changed. There's no extraction possible. You have earned the difficulty you are in through choice. Well then, welcome to karma. Welcome to working it out. But we assure you, if you find yourself in a mental asylum that's unlocked, you can do one of two things. Walk out and find something better, or stay within. It's up to you. Look, you, at your associates. What do they represent? What do they bring to you? Who are they? We would hope the ones you hold closest. You would actually seek out in a crowd and celebrate having found that you would not avoid them. If you are in that kind of experience, well, you have work. But you have no need to be protective of yourself. Your energy speaks for you, and it is powerful. And many people hold quite a catalytic energy simply by breathing in and out. We say, being enhanced with loving action, compassionate action. Certainly. Knowing that you don't feel safe is important information. If you feel you need to be protected, well, that gives you a clue. You don't feel safe. What is it that these entities, these personalities, these beings can do to you? What can they take away from your Merkaba, from your DNA? We ask you. This is the question. Is the dark really all that destructive? Well, we would say it can be quite corrosive, quite warping. Yes, warping. Choice. Who do you choose to give the most precious of gifts to? That of your loving attention, your time. Who? Well, they are you. Do you like them? Do you respect them? Do you trust them? Do you honor them? Well, we would hope so. Can you extend this love to those who are in pain and act in very dark ways? That is your canvas. Dear artists, dear healers, dear soul talkers all. Oh, this is our message, 2929, isn't that pretty? Protection. You don't need protection. You need vision. You are not unsafe. You are safe. You have tricked yourself into thinking you cannot be safe in a situation that's uncomfortable or ugly or minimizing or whatever. It's untrue. Remember to close. Your lives are built on relationships and interactions, of course, that are by agreement and request. Interesting. Well, this is what we have to say to close. There are many light workers, okay? Many. And you would be surprised what some light workers can work with. So, we ask you the $64,000 question. When you find yourself in a dark place and you are unhappy because it is dark, and you think that it's probably something you're going to have to commit to. Well, this is what we have to say. There are many light workers. Who are you to imagine that in a particular situation you are the only one who can affect change? What gave you that idea? It is important to self-manage. It is important to know your limits. It is okay to remove that light and move on to another situation. Perhaps not so dark. It feels bad to do. But we tell you this: you are not the only light in this world. And if you feel that the situation is compromising your peace, and you cannot move it, you cannot change it, you cannot push it, you cannot pull it, you cannot impact it in any way, this is when you leave. Unless you would like to stay and be well, it is when you stay in those situations that things can happen, and the body will respond, and illness may occur or other things. If you are in a situation that you should not be in, well, we can guarantee you your soul will move you from that situation. But if it's a sensation of not agreeing with your situation, well, that's the work. And if it's because you feel unsafe, well then, do some thinking. It's very easy to feel at times unprotected, unsafe, raw, and how other people behave can make things better or worse. Sure. However, this is a time of realizing the influence of others is not quite so great as it used to be. Imagine that. Not so great. Step into who you are, we say.